Cartoon Network has been a staple on American cable packages for the last 23 years. However, in 2001, Turner Broadcasting implemented a new after-hours block of programming aimed at a more mature demographic and dubbed it Adult Swim. Starting with cheaply made cartoons rendered from old 60s and 70s Hanna-Barbera cartoons, this original block of programming paved the way for dozens of original shows over the next 15-year span, only a few of which would be included in our Top 10 Adult Swim shows. This list will be limited to original programs. Syndicated shows like American Dad and King of the Hill will not be eligible. If you notice, we didn't include any of Adult Swim's various live-action shows. It's because we just don't like them. Number 10, Bo 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 Bo. The first show on our list is brought to you by Toei Animations and features a full cast of zany characters. The plot goes like this. It's the 41st century and the world's under peril from an evil bald ruler who wants to take everybody's hair. The lone rebel to stand against him is Bo 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 Bo, who sports a large blonde afro and a good deal of wacky followers. This show is completely outlandish and always offered a good laugh. Also, there's a character in the show named Soften, whose head is made of ice cream. Alright, that's freaking funny. Number 9, Home Movies. Created by Brendan Small and Lauren Bouchard, this show chronicles 8-year-old Brendan, who loves to make movies with his friends and divorcee mother. But the charm of this show lies with the alcoholic coach played by comedian H. John Benjamin, who's always up to some shenanigans. Animated with simplistic geometric shapes and shaky lines, the hilarity of this show wasn't overshadowed by its mediocre look. The creators of this show found a great deal of success in the Adult Swim network and with the Fox animated show Bob's Burgers. Number 8, Super Jail. Coming from Augenblick Studios, this cartoon features the tales of a maximum security prison located under a volcano. The prison is ran by an eccentric, Willy Wonka-esque warden who develops ridiculous programs leading to several inmate deaths. Along for the ride is the warden's main enforcers, the muscle-bound Alice, and the multifunctional Jailbot. This monstrosity has been going for 3 seasons and was recently confirmed for a 4th. It's a good thing we can't get enough of the carnage. Number 7. Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. Over the years, Hanna-Barbera concocted a perfect amalgamation of characters whose antics caused legal repercussions. Harvey, a former superhero, plays the part of a mid-level lawyer at the 7 & 7 law firm and will take any client that walks into his office. This platform would set the stage for our favorite cartoon characters to seek justice in the courtroom in this hilarious parody of the American justice system. From the Jetsons suing the past for causing global warming, to Captain Caveman protesting the banning of evolutionary studies in school, there is no case too ridiculous for Birdman! Number 6, The Boondocks. Following the Freemans, Riley, Huey, and their granddad Robert, this American anime gives a comedic look at urban stigma while expressing the non-subtle views on the perception of African Americans in the modern era. Joined by a wide cast of memorable characters, the Freeman Boys interact with several stereotypes and demonstrate their topicality by spoofing situations involving celebrities or current race-related subjects. While each season is typically released 2 years apart, the quality of writing, animation, and the people involved is never compromised. So stop snitching and check it out. Number 5, Robot Chicken. What could be better than an animated sketch show using stop motion and old action figures to lampoon our favorite cartoons, video games, and toys? Created by actor and comedian Seth Green, this show is a perfect vessel for him and his Family Guy friends to conjure wacky situations and spook popular culture icons. Also on staff were several writers from the collectible magazine Toy Fair. Oh, so that's where they got all those awesome action figures. This quickly timed and remarkably funny series is a brilliant blender of nostalgia that will keep the laughs coming and nerds everywhere salivating for vintage toys. Number 4, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Here we have a show about a meatball, some fries, and a milkshake that live next door to a middle-aged slob with a passion for hot rods and inflatable women. Sound crazy? Well, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is just getting started. With characters like the Moonanites, Rabot, Dr. Weird, and countless others, this show will have you questioning your sanity. It also stays perfectly random and oddly quotable. It started as a detective series, thus the name, but the characters' roles became loosely defined and then outright forgotten altogether. However, this show is one of Adult Swim's longest-running programs and a major favorite of the Lunar Harpoon staff. Number 3, Metalocalypse. Imagine a band so hardcore that their music inspires their fans to break out in a violent frenzy. Every concert is a massacre, every public appearance a bloodbath. Such a band exists in the form of Death Clock. Created by Brendan Small of earlier mentioned Home Movies, this show features 5 talented and self-centered metal musicians who form this supergroup. Their backstage antics are often hilarious and horribly misguided, but that always makes for good television. The band is worshipped as almost literal gods and use their money and status to invest in things like a solid ruby metronome, silos full of Doritos, and a 4-sidecar motorcycle. This show gives us a hilarious parody of the music scene and wonderfully funny characters to which we can all relate. Number 2, Rick and Morty. The newest show on our list, Rick and Morty follows super scientist Rick Sanchez and his grandson as they get into some pretty serious sci-fi shenanigans. Originally written as a short film for Channel 101, the show is picked up by Adult Swim, who enjoyed the original and extreme nature of the film. Each episode consists of Rick selfishly dragging Morty across the universe, causing death, destruction, and chaos in the name of some often superficial goal. We come across a bevy of wacky alien species and fun, memorable characters who provide a great deal of comic relief. This show has just concluded its 2nd season and triumphantly has been granted a 3rd. Keep the Rick and Mortys coming. Wubba wubba dub dub! Number 1, The Venture Brothers. Inspired by the classic Jonny Quest adventure shows, this action comedy follows the dangerous lives of a mad scientist and his adolescent teenage sons as they travel the world to discover the next great innovation in science and technology. The boys are incredibly death-prone, which creates the necessity for their badass bodyguard, the unstoppable Brock Samson. The show's subtle references to old action and superhero series do not take away from its memorable original characters and intense action. From the hordes of the Monarch's loyal henchmen to the vengeful Baron Underbite, there are several unique and hilarious villains trying to destroy the Ventures for one reason or another. Lunar Harpoon invites you all to get your walking eyes properly calibrated and enjoy the best show in Adult Swim's history.